All right, welcome everyone. I know folks are still trickling in from the main keynote, and so we'll get started, but hopefully folks will continue rolling in. So welcome everyone. Let me start by posing a question to the audience. How many of you guys have gone into a data lake and had trouble discovering or finding a right data asset? Just raise your hands. Okay, pretty much everyone, right? What about, how many of you guys are in the position where you put data in, but it's just like such a headache to document the data, put the lineage information in, and then and maybe you even document it really well in another platform, but then your data analyst still comes to you and be like, hey, what's in this data? All right, quite a lot. So today, we're going to be talking a lot about how AI-powered data discovery and curation works in Databricks, and how those capabilities can help you solve some of those challenges in your workflow today. Before we dive in, a quick disclaimer. We'll be discussing some roadmap items and also forward-looking features that is obviously subject to change, right? So we always try to make things better based on customer feedback, but that also means some of the things that we plan do change. So just a heads up. Quite a lot of legalese there, but. So hi everyone, my name is Peter. I'm a product manager on the Unity Catalog team, focused around discovery and lineage.
Hi everyone, my name is Hongyi. I'm a staff software engineer from Databricks, and I work on Catalog Explorer, data discovery, lineage, and its AI integrations. Happy to be here today.
And after the presentation, we'll be sticking around, so feel free to come talk to us. We'll answer some questions. So let's begin by imagining the perfect data lake, right? Ideally, it has well-documented data, and it's clear exactly what that data is about, where it's coming from, and how you can use it. You want to have good data quality, and that there aren't any issues in the data pipelines powering those data. The environment should ideally provide enough information to provide easy self-service data discovery, instead of relying on data gurus or information silos, or even be dependent on some other separate documentation platform. And finally, the entire thing should be secure and well-governed. But reality is often pretty far from that ideal, right? As the data volumes grow and the complexities of that grow, things tend towards entropy. Data documentation coverage starts to decline, data quality starts to degrade, you start to have a lot of information in there that's not really maintained. Discovery gets harder, signal to noise ratio gets worse over time. And data governance can either become too loose, too permissive, or too tight, where essentially a new user code goes in and they can't find anything. So today, we will be exploring two key areas where Databricks AI capabilities are transforming how you work with data and curation. First, we'll be looking at data curation challenges facing data stewards, and how AI is helping them scale their efforts. Next, we'll be examining how data discovery experience from the perspective of users and consumers change with how these new AI features and how it's simplifying their journey. Finally, we will see some of these features in action in several demos. Let's start with the problem of data curation that data stewards face. First, there is a significant amount of overhead in maintaining high-quality metadata. As data volumes grow exponentially, keeping that documentation up to date and comprehensive becomes increasingly difficult. Second, monitoring data quality is inherently complex. It's not just about verifying the presence of data, but it's also about understanding freshness, completeness, and ensuring the upstream jobs are functioning as expected. Detecting anomalies and preempting issues are often quite manual and time-consuming. And in fact, even if those issues are detected, a lot of that information is not really shown to the users at the right time. It's often and when documentation exists, it's often siloed in platforms like Confluence or SharePoint, disconnected from the surface in which users are actually interacting and using and finding the data. Essentially, they miss the critical context right as when they need it. Finally, the data stewards are constantly struggle the challenge of data management, right? You must strike a balance between securing data and also enabling good self-service data discovery, granting the right level of access without introducing risk or slowing the teams down. It's a nuanced and really delicate effort. Let's walk through how Databricks is solving some of these challenges. To address the challenge of curation at scale, we now offer AI-assisted metadata enrichment, automated data classification, and automatic capture of insights and behavioral metadata based on usage. As a part of Unity Catalog's capabilities, AI-generated comments and descriptions can help you automatically document Unity Catalog objects at the table, column, schema, and catalog level. It draws on existing metadata to reduce the manual overhead and help users quickly understand a dataset. This can greatly reduce the manual burden in both documentation and curation for data steward and data engineers. We also provide automatic data classification. Using Databricks profiling, Databricks can intelligently detect and classify sensitive data across your catalog. This eliminates the need to manually tag sensitive data and then review the access to that sensitive data. So let's take an example of how traditionally this will work. You load some new data into Databricks. It contains some sensitive information. So some data steward needs to go in and tag that information and then also manage the permissions on who can access that, who can query that, and what is obfuscated. But with this new set of capabilities and how Databricks automatic classification is integrated with attribute-based access control, what you can do is define your policies once and have that automatically enforced for all the new data coming into your platform. So for example, now your new workflow is you load data into Databricks. This automatic classification feature will automatically tag those data as sensitive. And because of an existing data policy enforcing who can access those sensitive data, it will automatically be obfuscated when certain users are querying that data set. Another important layer of information that is helping users understand and contextualize data is the behavioral metadata. So insights generated based on how people are interacting with data, including things like lineage, popularity, query patterns, and related assets. These insights really help users assess whether a data set is relevant and trustworthy, and how it's typically used by others in the organization. With Unity Catalog, we automatically capture and surface this type of behavioral metadata so users can see how that data set is how that particular data set is being used across the organization. Like all Unity Catalog features, this is fully permission aware, meaning users only see the insights that they're allowed to see. And because behavioral metadata is captured at the query and compute layer, we can even generate these insights and capture them from federated sources into Unity Catalog. As long as the queries are routed through Unity Catalog, you will be able to automatically document those insights. Now let's talk about the challenge of maintaining and informing users about data quality at scale. With Databricks automatic data quality monitoring, you can monitor tables for freshness and completeness on data quality issues. It not only detects issues, but it will actually pinpoint the root cause and perform some root cause analysis for you. When upstream jobs fail, or when periodic refreshes to a particular table fails to materialize, we will automatically tag that data as being as having a data quality issue. By integrating data quality insights right into the catalog, we can ensure that the users and the data consumers are proactively alerted to data quality issues without needing to context switch in a different platform or subscribe to some complex notifications. We also provide a central dashboard for reporting data quality issues. This helps teams move from a reactive posture to a proactive large-scale monitoring of the data quality across your enterprise. Issues that we detect are prioritized by impact, using some of the behavioral insights that we shown you earlier, like lineage, usage, and asset popularity that's captured in Unity Catalog. So for example, if a source table feeds many downstream assets, core dashboards, we can flag it as a high priority and surface the likely root cause. so that you know exactly what to prioritize and how to fix them. Another common challenge that we hear from customers is that while medallion architecture allows you to separate data by refinement levels, it's still not really clear exactly which data sets are truly vetted and ready for broad consumption. To address this, we are introducing certification and deprecation, features designed to improve the signal-to-noise ratio and make it easier to highlight trusted data and flag outdated or unreliable assets. With certification and deprecation, data stewards can now clearly mark trusted assets as certified and outdated assets as deprecated. These tags are prominently surfaced in the catalog search and seamlessly integrated into both exploration and authoring surfaces, so all users can benefit. For example, certification and deprecation directly influences search ranking and dataset recommendations across the Databricks service. Deprecation signals are also prominently displayed in authoring tools. That means users are alerted even while working in their own environment. Similar to getting a GPS warning about traffic on the Bay Bridge or on your way to work, you get a heads up of the information right when you need it so that you can steer clear of problematic data. So in an example here, you can see we select a table, but that table is deprecated. So we have a very prominent strike through to say, hey, maybe you shouldn't be querying this table. These signals are also integrated in with our attribute-based access control. So you can even implement a soft deprecation policy. For example, and any data set that I deprecate will have restricted ability to query. That way, you can deprecate asset well before you actually remove it from your system. Finally, how do you balance the need for user self-discovery with the need of securing enterprise data from unauthorized access? Metadata browsing and access request capabilities are designed just for that, giving users visibility into what data exists without exposing the underlying data itself, and providing a path to govern access via a request for access when it's needed. So over the past year, we introduced browsing and request access capabilities to help broaden data discovery without compromising security. Users can now view rich metadata, including the AI-generated context and other insights, without being able to query the underlying data. Once they determine a dataset is relevant, they can then request access directly to the relevant approvers. Those access requests then are routed to the right individuals, and we can even integrate that with various systems. So for example, if you're already using approval flows in Jira or Opal or ServiceNow, we can integrate with those external systems. This approach combines the security with the ability for users to still maintain self-discovery in your enterprise data environment. So we talked a lot about challenges facing data stewards. How about the other side of the coin? What about the challenges faced by analysts and data users during their exploration journey? For many users coming into Databricks, one of the big challenges is finding the right data. We recently introduced a smart suggestion system to address some of that problem. The smart recommendation system is designed to streamline your workflow, either by helping you to return quickly to the data you care about or recently been working on, or surfacing relevant assets based on things that you might find useful. It uses signals like recents, favorites, and usage patterns to generate personalized suggestions. Think of it as picking up where you left off, without having to dig through complex technical hierarchies. Beyond just smart recommendations and rankings, we're also introduced a new rich detailed page on each Databricks asset to surface those signals that we captured earlier. All that work that goes into curating a high-quality data asset, adding documentation, applying certification, tagging and governance, only works if the users can find it at the right time and understand it. That's why we redesigned our catalog pages to showcase some of the most meaningful insights right on the overview page, right when the users need them. These insights include certification, deprecation status, the data quality indicators, the descriptive tags, owners, and steward information, as well as a concise summary of the top insights that we captured, such as query volumes, top users, related assets. By bringing those cues together all in one place, Users no longer need to hunt down each bits and pieces of information across multiple documentation tools or different platforms. And you can assess whether a data is trusted and fit for your purpose. Those social and contextual signals are critical in building trust and usability for your end users. And they can help users answer questions like, is this data actively maintained? How widely is it used? And can I trust the results if I query against this data set? With the richer overview, we're not just surfacing metadata, we're empowering users to make fast, confident, and responsible choices on what data they can trust. We also recognize that many users, particularly analysts, want to quickly get an answer without having to write complex queries. So we've integrated quite a lot of natural language capabilities from the Databricks Assistant right into the catalog product. This is exactly why we introduced natural language data exploration on the sample data page. Once you've identified the right asset, thanks to an improved object detail page with rich metadata details, you can immediately start exploring it using simple natural language queries. Powered by Databricks Assistant, the experience delivers intelligent, context-aware responses. The assistant doesn't just look at the data, it understands the context, right? It draws from all the previous behavioral insights, from other queries, column descriptions, table metadata, to deliver relevant answers and generate the right query. So instead of writing SQL, you can ask a simple question like, what are the top selling products this quarter? And you'll get the results instantly. So it even suggests follow-up questions based off of how this data set is being used elsewhere. With this capability, we're not just making data more accessible, we're also making it much more conversational and intuitive. The assistant isn't also limited to just exploring data or generating SQL. It can guide you through how to use the data platform more effectively, offering best practices on Databricks, on data governance, and even help you discover relevant data asset in natural language search. So now we walk through those capabilities, metadata enrichment, smart recommendations. Let's bring it all together and show you how it works in action.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Peter. So I will take it from here for the demo. So Peter just went through a bunch of cool improvements we have done. Let's see them in action for the whole picture and to see how that can help you make your data discovery journey and curation journey easier. So first, I want to take a look at from the admin perspective. So imagine I'm a data admin working in an e-commerce company and managing the data pipelines. As a data admin, my job is to curate and maintain my data so that everyone in my work can easily consume it under security and governance control. Gladly, Unique Catalog already offers it. So let's look at this catalog I maintain. So first, you can see this catalog has a really good description that I already worked with AI together to come up with. It's in good markdown style. Has a lot of rich context. I can borrow it to advertise a little bit about the catalog features, but you can see its capabilities, right? How rich it can offer to my online consumers to read about. And let's take a look at the schema page. So opening up one of them, I can borrow the descriptions to highlight all the key tables with some overviews and to see what tables does which, so that my data users, they don't need to go through all the tables, look at it again. And thanks to the data quality monitoring capabilities that I enable at the schema page, now all the data quality is automatically captured. And then you can see I have quite a few tables that's healthy. All my key tables looks good. I'm pretty happy about it. And I can see everything here on the schema page without going back and forth about it. Let's take a look at the products table. That's very important for my company. The products table, as here, you can document it. It has a lot of key information. It has product ID, name, the metadata for my product lines, right, inside my company. And also, again, healthy quality states. It has some quite good usage I created before the demo. And let's check out the full insights. As you can see, I created before the submit, so the usage pattern kind of picked up, write a few queries, generated some Q2 analysis here, and it's already automatically captured here. So I feel good about my product table. Let's certify it so that all my consumers will see it with higher confidence. I also want to kind of go through with you guys together on another table, the transaction table. So as you can see in the description, it has a core fact table that captures all the consumer purchase, record all the record in good, healthy state as well. And also has all the good column comments that I already created, and some insights pattern that already surface up. One thing I want to introduce here is that the ERD diagram. So within this diagram, I think that's the best way to help you understand the key relationship between these tables within these data sets. So my transaction table has a foreign key that points back to the product table that we already see. That's how they are connected together. So again, feel good about this. Let's certify it so that my consumer, they can view it with high confidence. And then I want to show you guys how I created those tables with good documentations with AI. So with this new session raw table I just created, then the AI suggested description kicks in, and then I accept it. Like immediately you have data documentation. But that's not enough, right? I want to add some like my own context and make it, even more rich with like my data admin feelings about it. Let's ask AI to add like a how to use section within good style. So immediately it has some like boilerplate that I'm pretty happy about. But there's a lot more things you can do with AI. For example, let's say I want to add some sample query code so that my users, they can take a look at it. So can AI takes the mission, execute pretty fast. And we want all the AI generated comments to be reviewed and accepted by the admin, so that this is not something random, right? This is human reviewed but powered by AI. So I made some edit, then let's save it again. There is actually one more very high asked feature that is about translation. So a lot of things were done is here in English. I'm not a Spanish speaker, but with the help of AI, I can translate like everything, but retain the code in English for sure. That helps all my like Spanish speaker users to be able to read this table as well. So I'm pretty happy about this. Save back to UC so that everyone can view it and review it, approved by myself. And let's take a look at the column side as well. Which Peter just showed, we just introduced this bulk generate and bulk save capabilities. So previously, if you're familiar with this feature, you need to do like one by one per column. So now you are able to generate for the whole table within two clicks. One click to generate, one click to save it. And that works for all your columns. And of course, you can make more edits towards it. But we're hoping with this approach, we make your data admin journey with a lot more efficient. Okay, so now let's transition to the consumer side. Let's keep it simple. As a data scientist, I just want to find the right data, right? And I just want to show you a few ways to start the data discovery journey. So first, smart recommendations on the landing page. I land on the catalog experience. Here are all the things, like we track all the signals and think that's relevant to you. You can, as you can see, I work on these like demos a lot already. So it already able to surface, all these default catalogs, default schemas right after that. So I don't need to dive into the whole trees hierarchies to go towards it. And another thing is that inside your sidebar, we have the recent and favorites built in. So you don't need to go like a lot of context switch. You can just define it to the left and open it to the right. You can see I can easily jump back to my catalog pretty easily. And on top of that, we just talk about the request for access, right? We introduced this new filter that you can control, like to what extent you want to find your data. So sometimes you want to expand to see more stuff. Sometimes you only want to limit to things you can query, right? On top of that, if you see, like, for example, this customer data set, I find it really interesting and it's certified. And you can even request access to it. You can add a message to your admin to explain why you need it. And then this request will be sent in your way, like your admin set in certain ways, and then you will be able to get the permission like under all the governance control. Lastly, of course, one important way is a search, right? You always find your stuff via search. So we now have the certification integrated with search. You can see that my product table is boosted because like it's certified and has a lot of usage on it. Okay, so now I find the data. thanks to the rich text information, rich detailed information here, like, as a consumer, I can read through how other people are using it, feel good about it. Now let's see, like in live for the sample data exploration, right? Without even writing a code, now I can ask questions about it. I have this product table. I just want to see something, and then suggest a good question. What are the best-selling products in revenue, right? Let's try it out and see how it works. So let's run it. I think the system responds really fast with a SQL to explain like you don't need to even write it, and it just generate. So you can see that it runs very successfully. And one thing surprised here is that it was even able to join with the transaction table we just talked about, even though I'm like just querying this table. So I think this served as a good foundation for me. So you can just use the generated SQL and continue your analysis journey, like in your notebook, SQL editor, as the way you can go deeper analysis. So we're hoping with the help of AI, we can pave your way to set the initial discovery with a lot of ease. Yeah. Okay, there's actually one more thing. So additionally, that's not everything we talk about. Databricks Assistant, I'm not sure if everyone familiar with it, can always help through the journey as your data copilot. So start your Databricks Assistant on the top right, like bring a panel, you can set where you like it. So you can actually also find your tables via Assistant without the context switch. So let's say, let's find the product table again, and then it is actually be able to show up on the right-hand side as well. And there's like a suggested few actions you can act towards it. For example, like I always go with just open this table for me, and maybe I'll check out a few more inspirations. And the other things you can do is that you can always attach to this message. So then the system knows the context, and then will try to answer based on the attached object. A few other things for more inspirational usage is that you can say, suggest some questions for me, suggest some queries for me. So we're hoping the Databricks Assistant as an AI copilot, it's not only like solving a problem, but sometimes more inspirational. Sometimes it tells me if I'm new to a data set, right? It can quickly help me understand the data sets in natural language as well. So you can also show related insights. It will grab the insights for you. I think that's pretty cool. And then you can explore full insights if you want. And there's actually, I think, one more thing about it. It's not only working for your table, right? It was sort of like all your catalog objects, like catalog, schema, all the stuff. So you can ask questions. It has the context. So and sometimes I even use this as inspirational and use this like generated result to contribute back to the description, right? So I personally find that pretty useful, but I'm pretty sure you guys also have a lot of innovative ways to interact with the Databricks Assistant that's integrated to the product. Lastly, there's like a little trick I think it's going to quickly show is that you can use this add command to tag a UC object. So then it attached to the Databricks Assistant, it will be able to kind of answer questions for the object you're tagging without actually, you don't need to open it and all these things. Yeah, cool. So I think that's it for the demo part. And I know it is a lot to consume. To recap for all the features and improvements that we have shown. So from the engineering perspective, right, I'd like to show you guys how Unity Catalog builds the foundation of the data intelligence platform for you and for your company. So I think the number one takeaway is that context matters. And we already have all the context built into the UC as knowledge base, right, for the large language model. So with the help of UC metadata content, large language models are able to understand your needs seamlessly. As you can see in the diagram, we have like your usage patterns, lineage activities, Databricks docs, and all these contribute to the data intelligence platform. So that, for example, with the AI generated comments, we use like your related table, schemas, metadata as context to help you to enrich your Unity Catalog context in a fast way. And on top of that, once you save back the stuff to UC to the data intelligence platform, it also helps with all your downstream applications, like Genie, once you're in notebook writing and dashboarding. As a result, the whole ecosystem becomes smarter. So what we improved for the AI capabilities, so some of you guys might notice, there are a few principles we try to improve and following. So for one, we have invested into speed and quality for the AI generated comments and all the AI capabilities. For generation speed, we have improved by faster model, fast serving, and overall the speed now is 2x faster, and we also improved quality by a lot. The second point is that we want to make your AI assistant contextual. For example, we put your catalog context integration in line with Databricks assistant so that it saves you back and forth copy paste, like you don't need to do this, and help you boost your productivity. And the last point is that we believe the best AI should be easy to use and integrated into your system. As you can just see, we make the quick data exploration with natural language super fast. You don't need to context switch, going to different surface just for starting your query. So lastly, I would like to give some tips about how to better utilize AI capabilities and make best of Unity Catalog and help you build into the future. So first, I think the number one takeaway is that we strongly recommend you guys to add more descriptions to Unity Catalog objects, specifically for tables and columns. And we actually expanded the AI capabilities offering to all Unity Catalog objects, including like catalog, schema, and even clean rooms, for example. And also, we hope with the new bulk column generation and save, it helps you to make the journey a little bit faster. And with that, it will help you help all the downstreams to be AI powered, like Genie, editor, assistant, etc. And as a second, as you just saw, the inline edit description, I think that's pretty cool, really powerful. It's now integrated with AI and supports like translation, markdown that I already showed, but I'm pretty sure like it can cater your need properly. And the third thing is that we have this little button that can actually query directly within the system with the sample data exploration. So you don't need a context switch to go back and forth. You can get some quick answers. And yeah, we're looking forward to your feedbacks. Please send your feedbacks to help us improve. Yeah, back to Peter.
All right. So I think there's one more thing that I like to share, which some of you might have seen already announced during the keynote. We've heard a lot of customer feedback around how our current Unity Catalog interface is very technical, right? It's really built around hierarchies, and it's not really designed for exploratory search, but rather you kind of have to know what you're looking for to get to the right things. So we have introduced the Discover page to try to solve that problem. Again, in many of our conversations with customers, we've heard one common theme. Unity Catalog is really powerful, but it really feels too technical for many of our business users. And while the data hierarchy is really useful if it's clean and structured, it's not always intuitive for somebody who isn't familiar with exactly where things lie in the schemas and catalogs. In fact, some data leaders told us they've been really hesitant to open the Databricks catalog broadly, not because the data isn't ready for consumption, but rather the experience isn't accessible enough for users, even SQL analyst users, right, who are not familiar with the technical schemas. That's exactly why we introduced the Discover page. It's designed to be a welcoming front door to your data estate. It's an internal marketplace-like experience where users can browse, search, and explore the most valuable data assets and insights your organization has to offer. Whether it's certified UC assets, key metrics, or dashboards, or even Genie spaces, Discover page brings together all of that into a single unified page. Users don't need to know exactly where that data lives. They can simply explore what curated data your data lake has to offer. Through a combination of algorithmic recommendations and human curation, Discover page helps highlight the most relevant and trustworthy content. It blends data intelligence with human expertise to scale data curation across your organization. And most importantly, the Discover page lets you organize and present data in a way that mirrors how your business works, by domains, functions, rather than technical schemas. This shifts from a system-centric view of the data to a user-centric view, which is going to be key in driving adoption, boosting trust, and really making data truly self-service. So let's see what that looks like. Here, I have the Discover page. I can see that right now there is a set of domains that is aligned to how my business breaks down either organizationally or functionally. There is a set of feature dashboards, tables, Genie spaces, and metric views that has been curated either by humans or, you can see a little sparkle here, by algorithms. If I go into my set of feature dashboards, I will see that there is a set of dashboards that's been certified in my organization. Those will show up first in this experience. And then you will also see the ones that are suggested algorithmically. We use various signals to approximate whether or not this data is widely used and should be fit for consumption. And so that way, you don't necessarily need to have the human curation, especially if the data estate is sprawling, but you still can get the benefit of finding the most critical asset for your organization. Similarly, all of this is built on the same permissive governance, certain permissions and governance off of your Unity catalog. So this isn't just a separate surface that you have to control with a different set of permissions. If your user has the browse permission to see an object, it will show up for them. If they don't have browse permission, they won't be seeing those assets. And similarly, this is all integrated into the request for access. So you can have a set of certified objects that is shown broadly to your organization, but if the user needs access to them, they can request access to a central authority, which can grant them that permission. So that's what we wanted to show for today. And again, thank you guys for coming to the presentation. One quick call to action is that we will be launching Discover page in private preview in select regions starting next week. So if you're interested, please reach out to your Databricks account team, and we would love to hear your feedback on that. So thank you very much, and we look forward to your questions.